Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will be discussing the use of a trade copier software, cloud-based or VPS-based, whether it is suitable for you or not. So let's start with why you shouldn't use it, why it would be a big no. First and foremost, if you lack market experience, if you haven't at least been profitable consistently with a disciplined approach for at least 6 months or more, you should not even consider using a trade copier because it would only expand your exposure and it would sabotage your own development of a clear system with great risk management. So as long as you don't have a clear edge, no consistent profitability, you should stay away from using a trade copier. Another reason why you shouldn't be using a copier is if you are funded or have several active prop firm challenges and the firm doesn't allow trade copying, of course, then you should avoid using a copier because otherwise you would just lose your progress or you would lose your funded accounts by violating their rules. So a short summary: to the right, you see an orange post-it. Have a consistent profitable system in place before considering using a trade copier. And another reason why you shouldn't use it is if you just personally decide to avoid more risk or account exposure by executing all trades manually divided over several accounts. That's just a choice. Some traders like to do everything manually, to divide their accounts, then trade that account, then trade another account, and have all their risk and their account exposure divided. That's a good option. If that's what you prefer, just go without a trade copier. Then we arrive at yes, why you should use a trade copier, why it can be very beneficial for you. First of all, as we've just discussed, as you can see to the left side, you should have a clear plan of your risk management and the exposure you want to combine when using a trade copier. Let's say if you have 6 accounts, it's a choice to trade 4 accounts, to trade 3 accounts, or to trade all 6 together. That is a part of your plan, of your data, of a system that works for you. So personally, if you are an MT4 or MT5 user, Social Trader Tools is an amazing platform. I have personally used it myself multiple times, and I still do for funded accounts and personal capital. It's a reliable trade copier which is cloud-based. So you have to make sure that if you are trading with a broker for personal capital, or if you're trading funded accounts or challenge accounts, that the prop firm you're using or the broker you're using has to allow a cloud-based trade copy software. And the same goes for Traders Connect. It's also cloud-based, but it doesn't support MT4 or MT5 at the moment. For different platforms, it's a great option as well. Both these trade copiers are reliable, clean, and simple to work with. And then the third option is using a VPS-based copier, where you create your personal VPS environment, you install it to the platform you're using, and you're good to go. Because some brokers or prop firms do not allow cloud-based copying, and then you should just abide by those rules as long as you want to trade with them, have funded capital with them, or have an active challenge. When it comes to prop firm compatibility, Social Trader Tools and Traders Connect are well suitable for FTMO and the Fivers. Why do I say FTMO and the Fivers? I will create a separate video for this subject of prop firms soon. But for now, I will just tell you guys that FTMO and the Fivers when it comes to Forex trading, CFD trading, are the most established, most reliable prop firms you can work with. They are one of the few prop firms that have been in the industry of prop firm trading since the very beginning and have been through many phases of regulations and restrictions, and they have always kept standing strong, having steady payouts for their customers, having clear but strict rules that as long as you follow them, as long as you have a strict and clear strategy for yourself, you can have no single problem with these two firms. The third firm that is similar, that is relatively newer, but has a very strong foundation, that is a reliable firm, is Funded Next. But with Funded Next, the trade copying is a bit more complicated because you cannot use any cloud-based trade copier, only VPS-based, and you cannot copy from external accounts to your Funded Next account, or you cannot copy your Funded Next account to external accounts. So it has to be within your Funded Next capital, or you will be violating their trade copy rules. With FTMO and the Fivers, that's not the case. You can use their accounts as your master account or as a secondary account. You copy to or you copy from. You can, for example, use a personal capital account and just execute your trades on that account, and you connect your FTMO and your Fivers accounts as secondary accounts, and you will not be violating any of their rules. As long as you can prove to FTMO or the Fivers that all accounts are owned by you, and you can show them the proof of the copier and the registration of your accounts, there can be no problems on their part. And then the side note to the left, the potential advantage for trading psychology when it comes to using a trade copier is that if you apply the approach of using the smallest account you have, or for example, you deposit some funds or some net profits from your prop firm trading into a personal brokerage account, you use that account to execute your trades. Let's say you deposit $10,000 or euros into a personal account. You execute your trades from that personal account to, for example, an FTMO 200,000 funded account, which also copies to a 100,000 the Fivers funded account, and another FTMO $100,000 account. You're only using, seeing, and executing your trades on the $10,000 account, which means you only see the risk of, let's say, 100 to 200 a trade. You only see those numbers. You calculate your lot sizes on the 10K account, and that's all you see. So there is no psychological hurdle that makes you see all those big numbers or amounts, so it cannot distract you, nor can it be an obstacle for you. So in that way, you just have more ease, more peace, especially in the beginning. If you have a working strategy, you're consistently profitable for over 6 months in a row, and you have a system in place that works and that makes sense and has a stable, steady win rate. Just using only those little numbers when executing trades and then copying that same execution to bigger accounts, challenge or funded, gives you much more peace and much more clarity in your trading, because you don't have the hassle of managing all those accounts separately or at the same time. You just focus on your smallest account, and the quality of your trade copies to all your other accounts. I personally trade personal capital on a smaller amount that copies to funded accounts with FTMO, the Fivers, and Funded Next. And for me personally, this system has worked very well and still does. So for those who do decide to use a trade copier, I would recommend taking this approach to just execute on the smallest account, have great risk management, use a balance risk multiplier for the other accounts so that if you risk 100 on your $10,000 account, it just also risks 1% on your 200K account, on your 100K account. So the risk stays in balance, but you just don't have to manage all the accounts. You don't have to see all numbers, and that gives tremendous peace and simplicity to your trading. This was all for today's video. If you have any suggestions, any questions about something that concerns your trading, just let me know in the comments, and I will be glad to create a video that answers your questions. See you next time. And remember, stay disciplined, stay consistent, and keep it simple.